Whoa! Hey there, everyone. Good to see you. Morning, night, afternoon, whatever the heck it is right now. It's me, Grant. I've got my boy Banana Slam Jamma. A lot of people want to say Banana Slamma Jamma, but there's no A, right?
No, there's no way there.
There's no A. It's Banana Slam Jamma, dumbasses. So get that straight. But we have a good game. We have Newbee versus LGD. Now, the first game felt a little bit even, but as the laning phase ended, LGD, they just seem to have a grasp on what's going on. They won Epicenter. They're undefeated in this tournament so far, 3-0.
Just a cleaner game plan,
Yeah.
I think, was really what it was. And at the end of the day, probably the first game that I didn't see just some random slip up by the team that was ahead and made the game go to 60 minutes.
Yep.
So that was kind of refreshing. Obviously, the new patches just throw a lot of these teams off.
Wow.
And with that Lifestealer ban, I was kind of surprised they didn't ban the Axe because I think that's the most noteworthy. Like, people have been picking these Axe, Skywrath Mage, Axe, Leshrac kind of lanes. And the Lifestealer is one of the best heroes to just live through the lane. And so since they banned the Lifestealer, they set up for this first pick Axe, and I'm curious to see what they do in response. We've seen stuff like Warlock that Fnatic did a couple tournament, or I think it was a GSC.
Yeah.
Just something to sustain the lane. You know you're going to get pressured. They're not going to send an Axe solo off lane. They're going to dual lane you. Heroes like Skywrath come to mind. Sometimes they'll deny pick it.
Yeah. Can you deny? If you're Newbie, can you first phase a Skywrath right here?
You can. Will they?
Is it good?
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I've been out of the competitive scene, so when I see these drafts, it's like it makes sense when I look at them. But formulating this draft is much different. I don't know what goes through their mind. I feel like Skywrath is a hero that, if you're gonna pick it like they do here, you need a reason. Meaning you can't just deny pick it. The hero needs like a Beastmaster, I think.
Yeah.
Something along those lines that's gonna pair well with it. In the lane as well as the game. That's why you pick it with the Axe. It's aggressive, and the Blink Call sets up Skywrath Mage ult.
Yeah.
Yep. And we'll see exactly what they choose to do. I think Beastmaster is the first one that comes to mind, but they may go a different route, maybe something like a Sand King.
Yeah.
Any stun, similar to AA. Just all of Skywrath's damage is pretty unreliable.
No Sand King. What do you know?
BSJ,
And obviously they have two very good Sand King players off lane as well as Kaka. So KP Kaka, you never know. More than likely going to be support, I would say, but
can go
we've seen
way,
crazier.
sure.
Yeah, we've seen crazier.
I think they pretty much put on Kaka like 95% of the games. I'm curious to see what LGD does as their secondary.
Yeah, without Skywrath, right? Could they just pick a DP right here? Is that not good versus Skywrath though?
You have first pick, so you have the two responses
in
the second round. So I'm not a huge fan of drafting two cores in the first round, but what do I know? They're the team that they've been winning. I'm curious because Leshrac's the other hero that comes to mind with the Axe, just because it spams lightning and it's banned.
Yeah,
so
okay. Sure.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm saying I'm curious because what do they pick here? And they go Chin. Okay, another hero that does enable the aggression in the early game.
No, I've seen a lot of safe lane Chens lately. It used to be you just run off lane and then have your Chen get creep and do that. But in Epicenter, every game it was played safe lane with the carry, and I was like, wonder why it changed.
It's really good against Skywrath Mage. Skywrath Mage cannot he has a flat amount of damage he can do in the lane, and he just has to dish it out to heroes, and he can't deal with these creeps. So the fact that they've drafted the Sand King Sky, unless they transition the Sand King to core, they don't have
a support
that deals with this Chen. Oh. And neither of these supports can man up against these creeps in the early game. So despite the fact that I agree, I have been seeing a lot of the Chens in the save lane, I think this Chen will be in the off lane with the Axe.
Okay.
Because you picked the Axe, you said you're announcing that you're going to be dual aggroing. There's no other way to play Axe. He's just a hero. He has high HP regen, high aggression potential. There's just no reason to throw him into a crappy lane. And if you pick the Axe, you might as well just reveal what you're putting with it, especially since Newbee showed their supports. And they immediately banned the Omni Knight.
Yeah.
Just the counter initiation hero, I guess, for the Axe that they're afraid of. Newbee special. Gyrocopter, a core that's not nearly as countered by Axe as all these other right-clicking heroes. The thing about Axe that's so powerful, just like the Night Stalker last game, even though it didn't win, is it just eliminates a lot of heroes. You can't pick Jug. You can't pick any of these heroes that just kill themselves on the Blade Mail call. And knowing that, it makes it easier to ban in the later stages. And they already banned the Lifestealer, one of the best counters.
Yeah. And on the other side, Newbee, they've been out Kunkka this time. They obviously, they just didn't know how to handle it middle. They tried just putting an OD there, but Kunkka pretty much won that lane until, what, like 8 minutes in, and then by that time laning phase is over.
I just feel like there's only been one game I've watched today where Kunkka felt underwhelming, and he's basically a gyro combined with a disruptor. And what I mean by that is you have the X marks the spot for catch, and then you just have that AoE damage.
That's 2 for 1.
And, I mean, he just gets what he gets. It's almost impossible other than the Razor we saw against VGJ with VG Gaming.
Yeah.
He's just had a good lane at least, like a respectable lane. Has the items. I've pretty much seen Drum Shadowblade BKB every game, building into that Daedalus later on, and those crits just turn the fights.
They do.
If you crit for 1,000, suddenly that's 3,000 damage. Like that's just absolute insane damage output. They actually banned the Slark on the side of Newbee. Slark's just a good hero this patch, and if you don't have unpurgeable stuns, what would be the word you would use?
That works.
Okay.
Unpurgeable stuns.
Yeah, unpurgeable stuns.
Which would be what?
Stuff like Call
yeah.
Chrono. Then Slark's just hard to deal with because he used to have the weakness of the laning stage.
Got the HP regen.
Yeah, HP regen. You saw what happened to Terrorblade.
Yep.
You know, it's the opposite effect. That HP regen has a massive impact on your ability to play the game, and that makes even more sense that they banned the Slark. Venomancer great against Axe because Axe is just committal. Once he's in, he's in. And now you have this Venomancer punishes because you can't run away. You're just like you're slowed, you get that poison sting damage over time, and he also doesn't kill himself on the Axe's call. So it makes it so it's a little awkward for Axe to initiate. He's gonna have to buy a Shadow Blade eventually because you can't just blink when the wards see you and they break your blink. I like the pick. I'm assuming it's meant to lane against Axe, but we'll have to see. It is only third pick.
Yeah, and we haven't seen many Venos. I know Kyle talks about he really likes the hero, but we just don't see that much. What is Veno's weaknesses?
There's just certain heroes that couldn't care less. The ones that come to mind are Void, PL, these type of carries that I'm expecting PL, honestly, this game. Sand King is not all that scary for PL, and if you have these heroes that can just purge the Gale or sustain the damage over time, then Veno is quite underwhelming, despite the fact that he's gotten so many numbers buffs on his Poison Nova duration. And when you pick it this early, it's really good against the Axe, but you can pick the other two cores that deal well with it. Chen's also a hero that can just build these like pipes and mechs and kind of sustain items. And despite the fact that it is nice in lane, I'm really looking that LGD just picks a core for Ame that just doesn't care. I think the Void and PL stand out the most to me. They may still stick with something like the Luna. That's just a comfort zone hero for them. I'm looking at the fourth pick PL. That's going to be my prediction. Other than the Sank, I've already got the Sank.
Yeah, and then
1 for 5.
PL, right? Obviously you build a Manta style, very good versus Skywrath. One of the few things. I mean, to get that Manta or BKB, Skywrath can really just kill anyone on the map, especially with the Sand King. And
the thing is, if you're a single target hero, Skywrath can kill you reliably. But the thing about PL that's really nice, or heroes like that, is that he can't just no hesitation silence, slow ult kill you. Even if you are surrounded by your illusions, the concussive shot will find the real hero, but not nearly as quick as against something like a Void. They go for the Rubik. That the defensive null field is what stands out for that pick. Also
and
goes
it's
well
FY,
with the Chen.
Just FY
Oh,
Rubik. One of the, probably the best Rubik player all time.
And Rubik actually hard counters Veno, because Veno, the way he plays is he wants to pressure a tower by just leveling wards and pushing it over and over again. But you can actually stop that with a Rubik level 6 Fade Bolt plus a ward steal.
Yeah.
And think that you can stop an entire core's pressure with a support and FY, etc.
Like you said, stealing wards, but Sand King stun, probably one of the best skills you can steal, just instant cast stun.
I'm not going to lie. I actually feel like this might be one of the best Rubik picks I've ever seen, ignoring that it's FY.
Yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a rough game for the other team.
Yeah, it goes so well with Chen. It's good against all three heroes of Newbee, and it's FY. So that's
the triple.
The triple threat.
Yeah.
I think is
now, so Newbee, they need... I mean, what do they need? That's the question. It obviously could still be an offlane Sand King. We doubt it is, so maybe they pick up an offlane, or do you think they could throw Veno over there?
I think if they pick a flex pick for the offlane type, like, they could still go DP, I think. That's like the safe pick. They go so that's a core SK.
Yes. So,
I mean, that could be a core Shaman.
I hope not. Core Shaman's a lot like Core Skywrath. You throw middle and he owns, and then you die twice and you lose the game.
Yeah,
Like,
none
those
of
heroes
the
just
items
die.
he builds like makes him any more survivable. The only problem I have with Shaman is he's like Sky. He doesn't like deal with Chen creeps. Excuse me. He doesn't. He can't afford to just sit there
and lightning him. And hit him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that damage is pretty underwhelming against these tanky creeps, and dual lanes are quite good against Shaman, and that's why we see him become a much more situational hero because he has so much single target right click as well as the lockdown. But if there's two heroes there, that's suddenly not so scary. I mean, PL, this looks like the most free. I as a PL fan myself,
specialist.
I was gonna say I mean, it's just. Yeah,
give it a hand for BSJ and Chad.
It's my 6th hero pool. That's about as far as it goes. I just look at this. The wards, the illusions count as a full hit, so I love it against the Shadow Shaman.
Farm him.
Yeah, you farm him, you clear him instantly. Your illusions also duplicate on the Venomancer wards, so you can clear those for basically for free. And then once he has a Manta, he's unkillable. Yeah. That's how I look at it. And they're gonna have to pick something to deal with it. I'm expecting probably a Void ban from LGD, because the only thing I say about Void is maybe like something like an Ember, but they need to. I think they ban something that deals with PL because they don't have anything yet on the side of Newbee.
Man, I'm watching. They look confused actually, just like their facial expressions. They actually do. I mean, I'm sure they're like, this draft did not turn out how we wanted it.
I honestly think like the Rubik pick seemed perfect, the PL pick seems perfect. And
you get a first pick Axe, which is
he's going to do his job. It is a rough Axe game. Don't get me wrong. He's facing a lot of magic.
He's the
damage.
Sacrifice guy of this game, probably.
Yeah. I mean, as long as you get that Blink Dagger at a decent timing and throw your body into the fray. They actually have the Chen send back, so maybe he won't just die, which is a positive. They banned the DK, which is actually pretty good against the PL. Offers the lockdown as well as it's a hard hero for PL to bring down.
And this mid game, right? Like it still feels like Newbee at like the 20 to 25 minute mark is a lot stronger than LGD. Like if they have items, they can
If PL
push.
has not got only has Diffusal plus Yasha at that point, that is definitely an opening for Newbee in a game like this. But I can just tell you, I actually like playing Venomancer, and he's a hero that if you fall even slightly behind a hero like PL, the game's just over. Like you just don't do anything, and it never gets any better. But if you can keep that snowball rolling, then definitely a hero that can just keep the pace of the game. But yeah, Quap
versus Skyrath, Shadow Shaman, Sand King? That seems pretty greedy.
This is maybe, though.
It is.
But
he's maybe going to die a lot because that is a lot of disables and stuff. I'm really surprised they took Quap.
This is a hero that they want. I was thinking they wanted probably just an aggressive independent hero because even though Axe is kind of that aggressive hero, he isn't really set up to do that in this draft because of first pick. And they go for the Medusa.
Okay. They're really all in this mid game. It feels. I know people Medusa late game super good, but it feels like if they try to push 25-30 minute mark and they fail, they just lose the game.
Yeah, the way I look at it is if PL gets to a Manta and LGD is not losing, he's gonna free farm the rest of the game, and I think that they would have to throw because Medusa's a hero that you can't really fight into all that well as PL. Like if she has all this backup, which she does, but you can. You do have the Diffusal. You do mana burn her. And I don't know. I'm a huge PL fan myself, and I look at this game, and I'm licking my chops about this PL game.
Yeah, you just see Shadow Shaman or Skyrath anywhere on the map. They're just dead. They just instantly die. They're going to have to spend money on Ghost Scepters, which isn't very cheap for heroes like that.
Yeah, and PL's a hero that you have to build these type of items to live, but I most notably think of something like a Crimson. Maybe we'll even see that on the Sand King or the Veno because the Ghost Scepters are nice, but the Ghost Scepters are better against melee heroes that have to commit really hard going into the fight. And PL, he can force you to Ghost Scepter with illusions, just lancing you and then send And so I'm looking to see what Newbee plans to do to deal with PL because they didn't actually have the ability to kill him. The Sand King plus the Skyrath maybe in the mid game, but I think Ame, the way he plays, he doesn't really look to participate all that much unless he absolutely has to. Yeah. And if he gets to that second tier of items, then he's just gonna cruise. And once he has heart, I don't know how to kill him.
Yeah, and there you see Ame's actually gonna go bottom with the Chen,
and they're actually gonna enable the Axe, which is a nice way to compensate for the.
How does Axe versus Sand King go? Obviously, you have Caustic Finale. You can't proc from denies.
Which is nice, and it definitely weakens the Sand King's 1v1. But At the end of the day, like I said, you duplicate on the PL against the Veno. You also have high base HP regen, so the Poison Sting's not quite as scary. You can doppelganger off the Gale. I think it's mainly...
Ooh, they're swapping, I think, already.
Yeah, it looks like Newbee wants this matchup from the Veno. They know it's a bad matchup against the PL because not only is it all the things I already mentioned, but Veno hits for 43, PL hits for 66.
Yeah, you can't outlast him.
Yeah, that's just not a lane you want to be in. And we see at the top rune, they're looking to go on the Skywrath Mage from Kaka. He's actually going to take a lot of damage.
That Battle Hunger move speed.
And he actually, oh man, he almost got that last right click off. FY.
Oh, gets him.
Wow. It's that cosmetic made him faster for sure.
Dude, that thing is still nuts. I love the look.
The only thing that bothers me about that is when I'm watching a tournament, the chat is just like, what is that Rubik cosmetic? And then
you have to
10 minutes
explain it to him
later,
every
it's the
time.
guy that shows up, what is that Rubik cosmetic?
Yeah.
I'm just like, guys, come on.
Still better than stuff like the Spear Breaker one with the blue hat that looks like he has permanent double damage. Faith might be in trouble again. I think he's just dead.
And this is what I mean with Shadow Shaman. Not so impressive against dual lanes.
No, the hero, right, does insane base damage. We have to be close. Bottom lane now, Ame, though, taking a ton of damage. And welcome to Skywrath land. Here comes another bolt, yep.
He can just get sent home, I was about to say, and he does. He gets the last hit value.
Oh my God. That takes, level 1 takes forever, but yeah, gets the last hit and he can't TP back. So already a 1K lead for PSG.LGD. Do you think if we had to call him one, do they want to be called PSG or just LGD? There's a
I'd say
rotation, by the way.
LGD. I think PSG is like a new sponsor. I'm not 100%
Yeah, but
sure.
if they're first in line, I mean, it's a soccer club.
Oh,
a
is it?
world-renowned Paris Saint something.
I did not know that, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going with LGD
For all
because
the
that's
you
the Dota.
people out there, it's football, right? Yeah.
Yeah, le football.
Just making sure we're talking in terms of our audience.
Yep, so they rotate Ame up here.
Which I don't mind. They actually just give the Axe a little bit of, like, basically level 2.
Oh, he cliffed him. He clipped him without a TP.
Oh,
and look
God.
at who's KP just TP'd. FY is actually a god. FY is legitimately a god. Like, what is, he has to bring up the... Jesus. That's wasted time, right? That's just free farm for Ame now.
That's just one hero off the map.
Yep.
And they're delivering the TP from the courier, but I don't know if it's on cooldown or not. And I like this move by LGD. They realize that the PL can't really play bottom because of the Skywrath Mage, and this Battle Hunger is no joke on these support heroes. Skywrath has no health. He has no regen. Most of these Skywraths are just going this middle
one
build.
of these creeps, doesn't he? Okay,
Oh,
just attacks
nice.
it. No, Faith is ready. The thing is, they don't know where Rubik's at. They just see him go middle so he can TP. He was scared about getting relifted, I think.
That would just be brutal.
Oh, and look at that. Dude, Chalice just battle hungers and runs in again. He could be in a little bit of trouble here. That net creep is helping, but now you're getting held in place and bolted. He's going to get sent home. Will he make it? He sure will. The Stout Shield proccing so many times. Look at Faith on the backside. Almost dies to the troll.
These heroes just don't deal with chain creeps. We said that in the draft, and I mean, that troll creep almost, like, plus the Battle Hunger killed the Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, I just looked over at the last hit charts. PL has 14 denies at 3 minutes in.
That's a feels good man for sure. I love these type of games for PL. Once he gets like the Aquila up, it just becomes easier and easier. And I look at PL and I think if you can secure a laning stage like this, and then he doesn't have a clear-cut way to die in the mid game, like that's the dream PL game. That's what defines the dream PL game for me. That's why it stood out in the draft. And Somnus already getting the level advantage in the mid lane. Slight CS lead for him.
Ooh, bottom. Mugi's looking to beat. Mugi's just dead here. FY will come in as well. If he needs to use the lift, doesn't want to waste mana, won't. And this feels like one of those games you saw game one, you're like, okay, it was a decent early game for both teams, and now it just feels like LGD's just showing why they won Epicenter.
Yeah, Venomancer, a hero that's nice against the Axe in terms of like conceptually the Poison Sting ranged hero, doesn't kill himself, but with the Rubik lift into Chin, he's very vulnerable. If he gets caught, he's just dead. Like a hero like that, you can't run away. You're 280 move speed. It's just like these certain carries are survivable to these ganks, but Venomancer, they're just going to pick on him, and they're just roaming between mid and safe lane. Medusa, another passive hero, gets stunned up by the Chin, followed up by the Quab Dagger. He has no mana left. Does have the Fairy Fire if he chooses to use it, but he's just going to die.
FY just shows up, Fade Bolt, and at the last second. Now top lane, they are looking for X-Nova here. They probably wish they could have got Ame, but a kill's a kill nonetheless, and they chase Chen down.
And this is what PL does so well. He's just not a liability like the Venomancer here, where he's just so hard to be aggressive on.
He went the Soul Ring. That is, I've seen it.
That's something I've not seen in a while.
But not in a while, yeah, and a lot, like, this was very popular, right, like a couple months ago, but I have not seen Soul Ring PL in a while, and I like it, right? You get the You get the 6 strength. It's 120 HP. It's not bad.
I personally like the Aquila better, but if he thinks he's in this heavily contested lane, that's about the only difference Sol Ring offers is the constant Lance spam. And he is maxing Lance, so it makes sense to me that against the Skywrath Sand King, I think too many PL players are too content to max their passive in these type of lanes. You can't actually go on them and trade favorably. You're just going to eat so much damage from the Sand King Stone as well as the Skywrath Mage.
Look,
Harass.
I was just looking at this bottom. Mugi is 9-5. Axe is 8-5. And then you see 24-21 PL.
Yep.
This is, as you said, a reasonably free PL game, especially with how they laned it. They TP'd him back up there. That lane swap seemed to have done wonders for him.
Yeah, and it even enabled the Axe. And the thing is, PL, if you're ahead against the Veno, then the game's basically free. The only way Veno has a good game is if he's able to bully you before you have your items up. And I'm interested to see how this Sol Ring turns out because the thing I had a problem with Sol Ring on PL is unless you have like Tangos, you don't have enough health to like sustain using the Sol Ring active because of the amount of damage you take from it now. Instead of the 150, you take the 170. And we haven't even seen him use it, but
he's at 6 HP regen without eating anything.
And he's just chilling. He doesn't feel the need, and he's going to go ahead and look to be aggressive with these Chen creeps. They have the net into the Centaur creep, but, I mean, Faith is level 2 on the Shadow Shaman. I'm personally quite surprised they picked the Shadow Shaman into the Chen. I feel like this is exactly the kind of situations Shadow Shaman does not want to be in.
I still love that. Max duration, 2.75 seconds on Shackles. Total damage, 60. It's like 20 damage is saying so bad.
Yeah, that was like the significant nerf.
Yeah, they
he used to do like 150 or something, right?
they destroyed that with that. And, well, Ame taking a lot of damage. Doesn't have Doppelganger up. Looks like they're just going to chase down Faith in the backside. No boots. And, oh, my. That's the thing. You commit a lot, but he has that Sol Ring. He has that
He's actually going Aquila as well, so he's just all stat items. He has the wand, the Sol Ring.
Maybe does that mean he wants to fight early, or he just wants to
I think he
harass?
knows the only way he's dying is to burst damage, so if he survives it originally and he knows he gets these items up, he's willing to invest a bit more in these mid-game-ish items to ensure that he gets past the stage in the game, and I like that. I personally think he's going Hood as holy moly. He's full-blown, just wants to give no shits about anything.
And it seems like he hasn't so far. He's 1-0-1 with 27 denies. Middle lane, that's the big one. 29-14 for the Queen of Pain. 23-15, so quite a few denies from Medusa, keeping experience close, but forced into the jungle. They're stacked, so not too bad.
FY is getting gone on the top lane. Looks like he's just going to try to TP no Burrow Strike in order to cancel, and Alame does have that level 6, taking a lot of damage, though. Might go down.
He's going for the kill. Dodges. Nicely done there. KP, no Sol Ring himself, so no mana. And you see Ame, he has 7 HP regen now. He's fine, has a wand as well.
And if he gets the Hood, he is getting the full Ring of Aquila, and I'm a mixed opinion about the Hood. It is obviously about as good of a Hood game as you can get. If you ignore the Medusa, every hero on the team of Newbee relies on that magic damage. That just means he wants to be more aggressive. Doesn't necessarily mean he has to participate in fights, but he can show himself in lanes without being fearful of dying because he's just that much tankier. Skipped out on the boots so far. He has treads queued up now, so maybe he won't go for the Hood. Bottom lane.
Yeah, so Newbee, I mean, what do they have to do? It feels like they have to make moves early game, and they haven't. They're going to now. We are going to see a slow. It's going to go on FY. Hits Chalice as well. Faith tries to get in, but he can't quite. A nice stun by FY on 2 of them. The call comes out, hits 2 himself. He gets 2 spins. Now he's just chasing 1 down. Has level 1 battle hunger. Faith just going to go down there on the backside. Here's the Chen. Make that a 2-for-1. But Rubik does go down. So they finally end up getting a kill. But still, the Veno had to just bail and go top.
And he doesn't exactly pressure this PL either. So the thing about the PL hero in this game is that these carries that you can leave alone are just so powerful this patch. The games like you can get the Slarks, the PLs, the Voids in a good Void game. But if you can't leave them alone, suddenly these heroes lose their value. But PL just, I mean, he's just not scared of either of these 2 heroes. Sand King's only level 5. Veno, you can just doppelganger off the Gale. So it allows the rest of LGD to play like they're playing bottom. And eventually, PL is most certainly going to rotate to this side of the map so he can just amp up his farm. Queen of Pain has the raw Veil. They're against boots,
Yeah, no boots. Yeah,
I think they're against the boots on these 2 cores.
I think he's going to pick him up now, though.
Boots don't do all that much if you're just stunned and silenced, and taking all that damage.
True.
And they just...
Ooh, top lane. They know at least 2 people TP'd bottom, so they could possibly dive here. Wards can give them vision. They will. They have to be careful. Look at this full rotation coming now. X-Nova as well as FY. They are diving in. Ame in a lot of trouble. No double game. This should be a kill, and it will be. Now the thing is the rotations. Who do they get from this? Somnus level 8. Vale goes out.
Creep.
Oh, the lift from FY. They're only going to get one, but better than 0.
Almost certainly, I think PL hopefully will go bottom, but at the same time, I feel like it's just so hard to kill him that will happen once because of the Venomancer ultimate. But Shadow Shaman still only level 3, Skywrath Mage only level 4. These supports just are not a threat yet.
Yeah, look at Faith. Faith is pleased to have boots on the chicken. He does, all right.
And PL does end up TPing bottom. That tier 1 being taken allows him to have the ability to farm bottom. PL's a hero that protects himself by pushing in the lane and basically just being out of reach. If you don't have these heroes that close the gap, it's just very difficult to kill a doppelganger PL. And going back for the treads, so that'll accelerate his farm nicely. Axe is just farming jungle or Blink in the jungle, which is exactly what he wants to be doing. Only 1,000 gold
so
off.
where's this Medusa? We talking a lot about LGD, but Newbee, like, sorry, I missed that kill. I mean, Scott, he's worth 182 gold, whatever. What does Medusa need to do to like get him into this game? Because it feels like, I mean, this is their end game, right?
Yeah,
like,
Medusa's not a playmaker. He's just going to have to hit creeps, and he
Hope he gets farm?
Yep, pretty much. Like, he has to accelerate his game fast enough that
to get the stack.
He can solo carry this game at this point. And he is 5th on the net worth on Medusa. So despite what seemed like a decently even mid lane.
Yeah, you see the last hits denies. He's actually 2nd, almost 1st. Yet he's all the way down there. That's crazy. Obviously a lot of jungle creeps.
Yeah.
And those slow you down since they're worth like 10 gold, some of them.
And the thing about the PL Medusa matchup is if you're forced to fight the Medusa, it doesn't feel very good because it's really hard to actually commit and bring her down. But in these like skirmishy games, it heavily favors PL. And I think that we're seeing in the top lane, Somnus just doesn't care. He gets sent back. He's going to be aggressive. Didn't have the ultimate in order to finish him off. But I just feel like these type of games favor PL in the matchup. It's a matchup that can go both ways for sure. And Medusa, despite being a hard carry, doesn't want to be the only farmed hero on the team. They do have Venomancer, who's also up there in the net worth, but they're already down 5K at 12 minutes. This is
and that's all the supports, right? You see 2.2K for the Chen is almost more than their 2 supports combined. And then Rubik, FY, 3.5K net worth. He almost has a blink.
Yeah, Faith doing his best PPD cosplay.
Mm-hmm. Both of them, you know, pretty good players, I've heard. Possibly TI winners. Possibly. X-Nova, man, I love just the brown boots medallion, which every Chen goes. It just feels so strong. You can like solo. He could probably solo kill Skywrath middle. They're going. They get him. My bad. I was actually looking at your screen.
You saw it on my screen?
I saw it on your screen.
Yeah, I didn't hear the audio.
Over.
That's so fun. No, that's what I mean is in this type of game, like, PL, he just is not scared. And at the same time, Medusa dies like that. And that's just going to naturally lead to one hero out-farming the other. And
Jesus. Well, gets ulti off.
And he's just dead.
Yep. He did take away the hood. Are you happy with that? Going.
I'm glad. I don't think he needs it. I feel like it's not his job to play super aggressive on the map. I feel like he can be down here. He wants to be down here. From my perspective as a PL player, this is almost where you always want to play because you just protect yourself pushing in the bottom lane. And I only think you buy a hood if you need it to do this, what he's doing. And he clearly is just being aggressive, diving the Venomancer. He's not scared. And I like the fact that he's not delaying his core items for the hood. I wouldn't even mind if he goes back for one later, I'll be honest with you.
But just get your core item, especially Diffusal. Just your damage on that here. Whoa, they're diving in. It looks like FY steals Snake again. I don't know if you saw, Faith died between the Tier 2 and Tier 3 tower to solo co-op. Faith is just having a rough one. They do get a kill on Chalice top. They commit 3 heroes.
Does have the blink down on Axe, though, so he's not necessarily hurting from that.
Sand King has his blink, too, though, but now FY, my goodness.
They have the pairing once the Skywrath Mage isn't level 6 yet. He needs that level 6 to pair up with the Sand King. The Sand King's usually not enough damage solo, so you need that pairing. And surprising that they prioritize the Shadow Shaman 6 over the Skywrath Mage because I don't think they can actually walk up to towers and plant the wards. And I feel like they actually could set up dual kills with the Skywrath Mage on pretty much any target on the side of LGD. So a little bit surprising in my and from my perspective, that they chose to prioritize the Shadow Shaman.
And as you said, look at this. Chen PL gonna push a tier 2 bottom. They have Glyph, but tier 1 top FY is just pushing it out, level 10. He has no points in null field, by the way. Is this? I mean, obviously it's FY, so I'm not gonna doubt him, but not even one versus the
A little
the
surprising.
Here we go. They're gonna go
all
in.
The magic damage.
KP's here. Blinks. Ame just right click him down. Oh, Somnus is here too. Faith actually completed his TP and well.
Kindly feeds the wards to the PL if he so chooses to take them. As I mentioned, he does shred those wards with the. Come on, Ame, you know you do. That's just free money right there, dude. That's like 250 gold.
Yep, there we go.
There he is. Yeah, you just shred these wards. You kill him so fast with your illusions.
He's trying to right click him, but he's killing the neutrals instead.
Yeah, it's so annoying. They have like last priority in the aggro.
That's
It's
still
so
nuts, though.
annoying.
Look at that gold.
Yep, it's just 250 gold. Like that's nothing to like shy off. That's a huge amount of boost. Like he almost has his diffusal complete. He got the tower and he's just skyrocketing on the net worth. And
Dodge the Gale.
if you want my opinion, for anyone watching, if it's a good PL game, imagine you want to play this side of the map. And if you can, it's a good PL game. He's just he's been spending the last 10 minutes here and he just doesn't care. He's not afraid of anything. They've been diving. He's been tower kills
now as well coming out. This game is an 11k lead, by the way, at 15 minutes. I know Chen games can get out of control, but I mean this is a whole new level of LGD beating someone down.
Yeah, this draft just seemed like the Rubik pick seemed too good. The PL pick seemed too good. This Axe, who was first pick, like yeah, it's not a great Axe game, but it didn't seem like like they did what they needed to do to give him the game.
FY will go down here.
A necessary kill nonetheless for Newbee. They need to start something. But PL's already here with Diffusal. He could go down, actually.
Yeah, Doppelganger already used. Stuns up. Somnus just gets a double kill. He kills everyone on the back lines. And now KP's there. Well, Somnus and Ame, they seem to be good buddies. Because he just came in and saved his life and got a triple kill.
Yeah, they couldn't. I thought he might get follow-up damage from the Sand King stun from the other heroes. But yeah, I mean, they just both died.
I mean, I'm not saying this game's over, but when do you think Newbee is like, wait a minute, I know we have a Medusa, but Medusa versus PL when the PL is
I love the
4,000
Shadowblade
gold
pickup,
up.
by the way. From,
Why?
On the PL. It's just an item that,
Give me 3 reasons.
one, gives you solo kill potential on pretty much every hero on the side of Newbee. 2, their only way of killing you is Sand King Burrow into follow-up, and Sand King actually has to see you in order to do that. And 3, it actually accelerates his farm because the attack speed is really nice for the illusions and his mobility on the map. So it just accelerates his farm, solo kill potential, survivability while doing so.
I like it. I'll take it.
And the only reason you skip the Shadowblade is it doesn't help you in fights. But they don't have to take team fights. They're just picking people off with the Quap Orchid, the Axe Blink, and
FY, probably going to die here.
I was wondering what was going on over there, but I was getting the cue for the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. He was looking confused over here, but I would be looking confused if I saw that it was a 13k lead at 17 minutes, and there's just a beatdown right now.
Yeah, and it looks like the Axe is actually going for the pipe, or maybe just the hood and the chin also. They have so much magic damage.
This is the first Axe in a while I've seen just didn't get Vanguard. I know it's all magic damage, but still, usually you still see it. But he just went straight blink into. You don't see straight blinks much anymore.
He did get the casual ring of regen, but at the same time, like you just want to skimp out as much as possible, especially because it's not a good Axe game, and that's an Orchid. Yeah. Oh, a little bit too. Oh, the Orchid tick is enough.
Somnus is happy he gets solo experience with it. All right. But now top. FY's gonna try to defend. They know a few people up here. FY might just die for the 3rd time in a row, defending this tower. There we go. Blink in. They know some TPs were committed middle. Oh my god, but here comes the Axe now. FY, he is sandstorming. They don't know what's going on.
They have the late sentry, but at this point...
lifts him up. They are going to get frozen. No, Chalice gets out of there. Everyone else is going to try to run Faith there, but hello, Somnus comes in. Double kill KP. Doesn't matter. Chen negates it with that heal, gets the call off, and guess what? Somnus gets another one. Farm these wards up, and this is just a beatdown. A full-on Brooklyn beatdown.
I was honestly hoping after the draft that it wouldn't be as bad as I thought it would be, but it's just such a free game, it feels like, for LGD. They have all the counters. They don't have a way to deal with this PL. Look at how he's playing. Movie's just going to die. Oh, he misses the Shadowblade attack. It's still enough, though. Might have to TP out afterwards, but...
I don't think so. He probably could. He probably doesn't have to. He's like, where's a shrine? I'll just go use one of those. Or I'll go to the... Wait.
Shadow Shaman might just die. Oh, nope, he's going to die.
Nicely done. Gets the kill, though, but still, that's a ton of gold. 583. Was Doppelganger felt like he could have done it the last second?
Yeah,
or no, the cast
he let the Hex get off before he used his Doppelganger, so it was just a little awkward. As sad as it is, that death is definitely like worst case scenario for LGD, but the fact that that's best case scenario for Newbee, that they get a 1 for 2 is just not feeling too good.
Yeah, but now look at middle. The triple Centaur stuns come out, and they get him. Somnus is beyond godlike. Somnus is beating PL in farm. And I want to look at the last hits denies. 162 to 111. That's just Somnus roaming, getting kills.
And I really like this build from him. He just went for the straight Veil and then into the Orchid BKB. And once he has BKB, he's never dying.
They do have not the best Roche team, but obviously with how far ahead they are, they can just take it, it feels like. If
yeah, they have
really
Medallion on Chen. Quap's not like a terrible right clicker either. He has the 40 attack speed talent, low base attack time.
Orchid, yeah.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I don't think they're in any particular rush. Axe misses the initiation, it looks like, but it doesn't matter.
Another kill going to come out. We do see an ulti from SCC. They do kill the Chen. It is going to be a 1-for-1. We see a steal. Oh, man. It's the Medusa ulti. Ame kills Faith. This has to be the worst Shadow Shaman game. Oh, they go in. It's KP. Only level 1. Here we go. Ulti from FY. Trying to freeze him up. Just getting the damage on the backside. Ame is going to go for a 2-on-1. Let's see if he can get these kills. Good game called. Good God. This was a... I don't even feel we're allowed to, like... This was bad.
I feel...
If you're an LGD fan, you are ecstatic. If you're a Newbee fan, well, you've been feeling this for a little bit now. Because, let's be real, Newbee has... They haven't been looking good. Epicenter, they didn't make it out of groups. And
there's like a few of these top-tier teams that just have been a real letdown.
Yeah.
They just don't look... I mean, maybe it's the patch changes. Maybe they're not willing to adjust. Maybe... I don't know. Like, oddly enough, at the end of the day, I look at this third pick Rubik, and I'm just like, that is... I didn't see it before.
How is it that good? Yeah.
I'm like... Wait, what? They have FY, and you give them the perfect Rubik game? You know, it's one of those where I didn't think about it before either. You know, I didn't notice it when the Venomancer came out. I thought the Venomancer was a decent pick, and then suddenly you just have 2 perfect picks in a row, and then you give maybe, it's not like the perfect Quap game, but just a hero. I mean, maybe Quap. He's probably the best Quap player out there, at least.
Somnus, yeah, I would say right now at least, especially because they're one of the only teams who pick it too, right? Like, if you have a player that good that no one else wants to pick the hero and you do, and you go beyond God, like, look at these stats. Look at this. Why did it say Kaka is better at supporting, better at pushing, better at tied for fight? That okay? These don't make sense. It's all good. Sorry, I mean, come on, Val. But
yeah, I don't exactly know where they get these formulas.
Yeah, so this was, I mean, this game 1 was, pardon me, was pretty close, but game 2, nowhere near close. You said it was more than likely over at draft. You were correct. It was just a straight-up beatdown, 15-0-6 from the Quap.
At the end of the day, the team with the superior draft does have to execute the way. Like that early rotation was actually a huge deal. They gave the Axe just that little level 2. They sent the PL back to base and just TP'd him top.
It didn't die. Yeah, TP top. So you have to commit a TP to go up there, and even then, it just doesn't feel that good. And, man, Battle Hunger, like, why is this Battle Hunger first Axe, like, so good? People just realized.
It's 12% movement speed both ways.
And damage.
Yeah, like, and it gives you the movement speed as well. So suddenly, like...
People just didn't realize until now, like, wait a minute. You can't
wait, now it's
creeps
only 50 mana, too.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, you just chase people down and run them down. And honestly, it's weird to say, but I feel like a lot of these powerful heroes just have high base HP regen. Yeah. Axe has 5 HP regen with no items. And so, oddly enough, he wins the trades. If he battle hungers you and hits you, unless you're killing him, you're not going to fight back. He's going to lose half his health. You're going to lose half your health, and he's going to have twice as much HP regen as you.
One of the people we didn't really talk about much at all, actually, is X and Over. Right? I mean, obviously, he is the 5 player, which you don't talk about that often on teams, but 1-3-10 Chen. He got, like you said, the sendbacks, the Chen creeps, the ganks, the item build with Medallion.
He just enabled his course.
Yeah,
what a Chen
exactly,
does.
And that's why he probably doesn't even want us to praise him. He's one of those guys who's like, I know I played amazing. You don't have to tell me. Tell to Ame.
It doesn't show on the scoreboard, but it shows on my core's scoreboard here.
Exactly. Chalice 2-1-9. I think a lot of people, you have those end of the year awards. If they were given out now, he might be given best most improved player, I think is the award. I mean, everyone's talking about him now. He's played amazingly well. I mean, he's winning majors.
Dota's a 5-man game at the end of the day. You can have one weak link and the team just absolutely. And
are you calling anyone out here?
I don't want to name any names.
No, that's fine.
I just feel like even just swapping one hero, even if it's not the player itself, but having one player that doesn't fit well, I'm not even calling out the team, but I think the most drastic team that I notice is OG. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying Mad's like a bad player or anything, and maybe it's just not a good fit. Maybe they haven't found their stride. But when you change one player, it can drastically shift a team. And these players that like step it up, like you said, with players like X Nova. I mean, LGD. We were at the summit together in December. They got like 06th in the group
They were
stage.
garbage. They were straight garbage. Yeah, they
And
were.
it's like, wait, what? What? All of a sudden, they're winning a major, and they're just coming in and stomping Newbee. Like, what? You know, what planet are we on now? But
Yeah, they just to be. I mean, Newbee. What do you do if you're Newbee? Like, you're obviously gonna go to TI. Like, you're pretty much. I mean, you're not guaranteed. They're like 95% guaranteed.
Yeah.
But they're
unimpressive.
objectively bad right now. They've done terrible at Epicenter. They're doing terrible now.
These 2-week patches.
What do you do?
I mean, I legitimately don't know. I look at these teams and I'm like,
They're good, but why are they losing?
okay, so from a player perspective like myself, I view these teams and like these are world-renowned players, and you just gave them a Rubik and a Skyrath Sand King Veno. You know, it's like
Drafting.
Kyle and I were talking about the drafts earlier. I don't think it was on stream, and it's just like in this patch you have to have like when they're changing all the heroes. I think you just have to go back to your roots and understand that like all these heroes have the same counters. They still deal the same way with all these matchups, and some of these teams are just objectively drafting
Poorly.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically.
Also, didn't I read San Shang just came back to coaching Newbee, I believe, as of yesterday?
I did not know. I do not know.
I believe I read that.
Okay.
I don't want to say something, but it looked like SEC was still doing most of the drafting, but I believe I read that was the case. So maybe that's something to push him along, but this is still only the first day of
absolutely.
group. Obviously, they did
lot
poorly
can
in
happen.
Epicenter, but you don't know. Maybe a patch drops tomorrow randomly, and Newbee's back in it.
LGD looks clean though. That's
they
good
do.
to see.
They look like the best team in the world, honestly. I would put them
sure.
above Liquid. Obviously, they just beat him at Epicenter.
That could change very quickly with like 2 small patches apparently.
Do you know? I'll have to look up because we are going to be casting the next series.
Okay.
We are going to be shortly doing, but I want to see, is LGD, are they at any of the other majors? Do you know by chance? I'd love to see them. I know they're already going to be qualified, but
I have
see
no
more.
idea. I want to see them more as well. I feel like these type of teams are the teams that other teams can watch. I think you learn a lot from their drafts, and most notably, it's like I understood PL because that's one of my favorite heroes.
Yeah.
But you can just watch them, and it's like they show you why the heroes they pick make sense. And even with the Axe, they know the only weakness he could have is being a complete liability in the laning stage, and they do this little rotation that's just like, okay, Axe has a game. We're going to jungle him while the rest of our heroes do something.
Yep.
And I just think that some of these teams just have clear holes in their draft. It's just awkward. Like, they don't really have the playmakers on the side of Newbee. Like, they picked the Shadow Shaman into the Chen, which...
Doesn't feel. I mean, he just runs them down with creeps, right?
Yeah, I'm not
That's
I really don't know too much about supporting, but I know for a fact that if I'm a shaman, I can't fathom what I'm doing if I have 2 big creeps running at me. Like, shackle one and die to the other. You know? So, it's just weird. I think it's very... I don't know if teams are thrown off keel or whatever it is.
Or they're just used to drafting what they want. It just doesn't work now.
Yep.
Who knows? You got to adapt. But that is the end of series number 4. Guess what? There's still one more best of 2 after
Hype.
this. So if you guys stick around, I can promise you a magical show.
I think that's the cue. I think that's Grant trying to transition us to break.
Magic.
Magic.
Get us the hell out of here, production. What is happening here?